Well, Don, congratulations, our third in the Master Series.
That's fantastic. This is an incredible journey we've been on so far.
It is indeed. We started with Masters of Networking, New York Times bestseller, then Masters of Success, a #1 Wall Street Journal bestseller.
Congratulations, bestseller.
Thank you, thank you. And now we have Masters of Sales, which had more contributing authors than any one of the two previous books.
I'm really excited about Masters of Sales. This is a book that's going to appeal not just to the people who are in sales traditionally, but also to people who are aiming to gain influence with other folks that they associate with.
We have some great names in Masters of Sales. The big three of selling. Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, and Tommy Hopkins all contributed to Masters of Sales. We've got Martha Stewart, we have Harvey Mackay, we have J. Conrad Levinson, we've got Tony Robbins, and my good friend Jack Canfield, all contributed to Masters of Sales. A lot of the contributing authors are salespeople out there where the rubber meets the road, and day in and day out they're selling their products and services to other people. And these may not be people that are well known. You may not recognize their name, but they're experts in their field because they're doing this every day.
And you know what's really exciting about these people is they know the basics of selling. They know what it's all about in terms of prospecting to find the clients. They know how to qualify the buyers. They know how to handle the objections, make the sales presentations, and the close. Did I talk about the close yet? They know how to do the close really well because they've been trained by the greats. But as you said, they're out there doing this every day, and they're starting to feel the way that the whole world is moving sales. It's more from that manipulative approach to a new paradigm where they're actually getting out there and becoming part of the buyer's solution team.
Through relationship selling.
Absolutely, relationship selling. Shelley Howitt, one of our contributing authors, a great salesperson, she talks about walking the streets of northern Chicago in the winter, schlepping typewriters way back when.
And she's not very big.
She's really small. But what's really exciting is she learned a new way. She learned a new way to find clients through relationships and referral marketing. And I think you may know something about referral marketing.
A little bit, running the world's largest business networking organization, BNI.
BNI, right, exactly. We talk about a paradigm shift from the old way of selling to the new way of selling in this book. But, you know, what we really should also do is talk about what the traditional salesperson might be perceived as, because while we wanted to show the new way of doing things, the old way of doing things of selling is still very much popular.
And the general public doesn't really have a high opinion of sales. I mean, when you're a kid, you don't say to mom and dad, "Mom, Dad, I want to grow up to be a salesman," right?
No.
And I think that's because of the historical perspective on what selling used to be compared to what it is today. There's a great opening in Masters of Sales, which is the lyrics from a song that was done by Bill Joyner and a good friend of mine, Stephen Josephs. And what I'd like to do is...
Are you going to sing it?
No, I'm not going to sing it, but I'll read the lyrics here. You can lie to a salesman and still get to heaven. Request their proposals and make them dance, because a salesman will trick you and take your money. If you lie to them first, they never get the chance. Oh, salesmen are useful, don't get me wrong. They're fountains of free advice. So hook them on hope and string them along and beat them to death on price. Every night at sundown, if you listen, you can hear it, like ghostly specters from beyond the pale. Digitized voices rising from their chambers. It's the spirits of salesmen trapped in voicemail. "Hi, Fred, it's Steve. I'm getting back to you. I've got good news on that price. Why don't you give me a shout so we can take the next step? I've left this message twice."
Congratulations! I didn't know you were such a great poet.
I'm not a poet at all, but Stephen and Bill are great poets, and it's a wonderful song, and I think it's really indicative of how many people view the average salesperson.
I believe that's absolutely correct. And one of the things that people see when they look at a salesperson is they see how they communicate, they see how they talk, they see how they present themselves. And a lot of our presentation in this book is about how you present yourself as a salesperson, as a masterful salesperson.
That's right. And the truth is, people love to buy. They just hate to be sold to in traditional selling.
And the smartest, most masterful salespeople can turn their communications around to become totally in sync with what the buyer is looking to own.
That's right. And the process doesn't have to be a negative one. Sell is not a four-letter word. Okay, it is a four-letter word, but you know what I mean. It's not a four-letter word.
Not a four-letter word. And in fact, if you think about it, the entire buying public, which consists of everybody, has a buying project in their mind right now, probably, that they'd like to consummate in the next 90 days. I mean, I do. You probably do.
Absolutely.
We wanted to take a look at what the buyers were thinking about when they go into the selling scenario and how we would look at it from their eyes, because after all, they are the people that we're exchanging products and services with every single day.
Don Lyons and I did a piece on behavioral styles and understanding the buyer, and that if you understand the buyer, it's easier to develop a relationship and work with them to help them achieve what they want to achieve. I have seen this in action. Don is a master at understanding how to work with individuals according to their behavioral characteristics and styles. As a matter of fact, I saw her do a training one day, and this is not in the book. I saw her do a training one day where halfway through the training and teaching people about behavioral characteristics, one of the guys there had been trying to close a deal for almost 3 months, and he could not get the person to make the commitment. And at lunch, in a cafeteria with a food on a tray, he's on a mobile phone using the behavioral characteristic approach that she teaches in her training program, and he closes the deal right on the spot because he took it from the buyer's perspective rather than from his perspective, and this is very powerful.
That's very powerful. And what's more exciting is the book is full of techniques and strategies on how to build your sales career to the masterful levels that some of the great people that we've talked about already have achieved already.
Now, you say sales career, but remember, this is really a book aimed at everyone. It could be a banker or an attorney. It could be a chiropractor. It could be anyone who's out selling a product or service, not just the quote-unquote salesperson. We wrote this book for anyone selling products or services, not just the salesperson.
In many ways, the subtitle should be something like How to Gain Influence and Build Relationships.
Absolutely.
Ivan, you have a tremendous story in the book. It's not totally about sales, but it's about how to learn from other people and apply their knowledge to the endeavor of selling.
Right. It's actually about a personal experience that I had in Hawaii years ago. I was out in Maui wading through the water about chest deep. And as I'm standing there in the water, I feel this stinging sensation across my chest. And I take my arm and wipe it across my chest and hold up my arm, and there are these jellyfish tentacles hanging from my arm, and I look out, and about 15 or 20 feet out in front of me, I see what appeared to me to be a huge man-o-war jellyfish. So I knew these were very poisonous. So I swam ashore, and I ran up to this cabana boy, and I went up to him and I said, hey, I think I just got hit by a man-o-war jellyfish, and there's these big red streaks across my chest. He looks at me and says, okay, does your chest hurt? I said, no, I'm all right. He said, you breathing okay? I said, yeah. He said, all right, fine. What you want to do is you want to go into the front lobby. There's a little store off the lobby. You want to buy some Adolph's meat tenderizer and some vinegar, and you want to put the meat tenderizer all over your chest and rub vinegar into your chest. And I look at him and I was like, yeah, all right, thanks a lot. So I figured he's goofing on the tourist, right? So I figured, I'm gonna go to management. So I go on into the lobby, and there's the manager at the front desk, and I go to the manager and I said, hey, I think I just got hit by a man-o-war jellyfish. And he looks at me and he goes, yeah, looks like a man-o-war jellyfish. I said, well, what do I do? He said, well, do you have any chest pains? I said, no chest pains. He said, all right, well, just down the hall here, it's a little market. You want to get some Adolph's meat tenderizer and some vinegar, and you want to put the meat tenderizer in and rub the vinegar in, and you'll be okay. And I'm like, all right, I give. So I walk into the little store, and I see some Adolph's meat tenderizer, and I'm looking for the vinegar, and I can't find any vinegar. And all of a sudden, Don, I start getting this pressure in my chest. And it's almost like somebody's pushing against my chest. And then it's like somebody's sitting on my chest. And I swear, now it's like somebody is pounding my chest. And it all happened in like a minute. And I'm staggering back to the front desk. And I get to the front desk, and I'm clutching my chest now. And I say, I can't breathe. And I collapse. Boom, right there in the front of the lobby. I'm in a bathing suit, nothing else. People are bringing in luggage. They're stepping over me. They call the paramedics. I hear the paramedics coming in. They've got these boxes. I'm thinking defibrillator, right? They're going to come in, and it's clear. No, you know what they do? They open up the box and they pull out a bottle of Adolph's meat tenderizer and some vinegar. They slather it on me, rub it in, and I'm not kidding, within 30 seconds, the heart pain stopped. And the pressure within a minute was almost completely gone. Now, how does this apply to sales? I'll tell you how. It's easy. All too often, experts give us advice. People who've been out there for years doing this, they know what to do. They know what works. They know what doesn't work. And all too often, we don't take that advice. I mean, here I am, a fairly well-educated man, and some cabana boy says, put Adolph's meat tenderizer and vinegar on you. If I'd accepted that advice right then and there, I'd have never had a paramedic's bill. But I did, because I didn't listen to the person who knew. And salespeople do that all the time. They get great advice from people who are out there in the field, doing the work, giving them recommendations, and they say, no, he can't be right, or she can't be right. I know better, and they have to learn all over again, just like I did. You know, Masters of Sales is all about taking the experiences of over 80 master salespeople and teaching others how to do this process more effectively. And nothing beats experience. Even education is not as good as experience. The only thing better is education from experienced people. And that's what I love about this book, is that it is chock full of experience and will educate people how to improve the sales process no matter what business you're in.
And so we would like you to become a master of sales and then come and teach us.
This is Ivan Misner
and Don Mogan.
Thank you very much for your time today.